After World War II, some European countries decided that economic as well as political cooperation will help the continent avoid future conflicts. First step in this direction was made by 6 countries: West Germany, France, Italy, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. They created the so-called European Coal and Steel Community in 1952. 5 years later, in 1957, they signed a new treaty which included coal and steel like last time, but also trade. Its name changed to the European Economic Community. As it can be seen, they kept broadening their scope of cooperation. In 1993, the name was finally changed to the European Union we know today. 28 countries are currently members, and their citizens get to travel from one country to another pretty much as easily as they can travel within their own country. Furthermore, 19 out of their 28 countries even use the same currency, the euro. This situation is quite unusual and unprecedented even. Having the same currency for 19 completely different countries with different cultures and sometimes fundamentally different economics is quite risky. During periods of economic prosperity, everything seems fine, but as the European solves the debt crisis as follows the Great Recession proves, the Eurozone has been far too bureaucratic and slowly react. Europe will most likely have to eventually make its final choice, move towards unification just as the United States has done, and keep the euro or banning the current currency. How the EU works. The EU is made up of 28 European countries. It was formed in 1957 and it was originally known as the EEC, European Economic Community. It aimed to prevent wars and strengthen economic bonds. Britain joined the EEC in 1973. In 1993, the EEC was renamed the European Union. Core principles of the EU include freedom of movement, freedom of trade of goods and services and capital, EU human rights protections. Another key feature of the EU is the euro currency. It was made available in 2002. Today, 19 of the 28 member states are part of the Eurozone. Eurozone members, 3 bodies manage the day-to-day running of the EU. They are the European Council, which is made of the leaders of each member state, who meet for summits to discuss key issues affecting the EU. The Commission drafts new laws and enforces them. It's the job of the Parliament to pass these laws. European Court of Justice ensures laws are applied the same way in each country. Like a club, EU members must pay to remain a part of the Union. Britain's annual membership fee amounts to 12.9 billion euros. In return, Britain receives around 4.5 billion euros. It takes the form of subsidizing grants from the EU. In 2004, 10 countries joined the European Union. Denmark, Sweden, and UK kept their own currency. Euro coins are distributed with the symbol of the country that produced them. EU has over 500 million citizens, being the most powerful economy of the world. UK applied twice to the EU. Years later, it breaks it out. European Union functions. European Commission is based in Brussels. There are 28 members. Every 5 years, the commissioners are nominated and they don't take orders from their nation states. European Parliament passes EU laws, is located in Strasbourg, France. There are 750 members. Every 5 years, voters vote for the new members. European Council brings together the heads of states of government. They meet at least 4 times a year to discuss their overall directions and priorities. European Central Bank manages the euro area, 18 members. The Court of Justice is located in Luxembourg. It ensures that the EU legislation is applied in the same way in each country. European Court of Auditors makes sure EU funds are used correctly. It's located in Luxembourg. What is the Schengen Agreement? To travel across Europe without stopping for border controls as a continent with one big state was once a great European dream, one that was realized, the Schengen. It's a small town in Luxembourg when the initial agreement was signed in 1995. Now, there are 26 EU member states in the Schengen area, as well as Iceland, Norway, Switzerland, and Liechtenstein. Non-EU citizens also benefit from the agreement. If they obtain a visa from the Schengen area, they could travel almost everywhere in Europe freely. With a huge influx of refugees into Europe, the agreement is under threat. Politicians and citizens in the different member states disagree on refugee policy. Some countries have reintroduced border controls, and this could eventually become standard everywhere. That would spell an end to the Schengen Agreement. This would be used to unobstructed traffic of goods. This is a precondition for just-in-time manufacturing. Take Volkswagen, for example. Engines come from Hungary and are delivered to the assembly line in Germany at fixed times. There's no need for expensive storage. Border controls and traffic jams would put an end to this and would cost a lot of money. Some experts are now wondering whether it would make sense to still have a common currency in a Europe with reinstated border controls. The abolishment of the Schengen Agreement could set a development of motion that might eventually shuttle the great post-war European dream of a unified continent. The reason of the 12 stars in the European flag is because of the first 12 countries that joined the European Union. The last one that joined was Belgium. In a superstitious theory, they believe the number 12 represents perfection, harmony, and union. Also, the 6 countries that belong to the Eurozone but don't belong to the European Union are Andorra, Monaco, Montenegro, Vatican City, and Kosovo. Margaret Thatcher in 1986, she reduced the barriers of trade within countries.
Faisant depuis plus de 20 ans le champion d'une Europe unie, la France a toujours eu pour objet essentiel de servir la paix. L'Europe n'a pas été faite, nous avons eu la guerre. L'Europe ne se fera pas d'un coup, ni dans une construction d'ensemble. Elle se fera par des réalisations concrètes, créant d'abord une solidarité de fait. Le gouvernement français propose de placer l'ensemble de la production franco-allemande de charbon et d'acier sous une haute autorité commune.